Ulama University, Yogyakarta. My name is Hakim, and I will be your moderator today. Okay, we're very privileged to hear from Mr. Carlos and Miss Anna. And without further ado, let's start the discussion.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you. Hello. Thank you for joining us to this small talk. So we are covering this topic, which we find really exciting, LLM agents and vector database for portfolio management. As you know, LLM agents are a super powerful tool to crafting narratives, envision futures, and generating scenarios. So today we are exploring how these tools can forecast stock movements align with our own vision of the future. So let's dive into it and see how well it works with Python. Well, we are coming from Spain, as you might notice. My name is Ana. I used to be a lawyer back in Spain, so what I'm doing here, right? About a year ago, I realized that my profession was going to change drastically because of the AI. So I decided to start coding a bit. And, you know, this is the reason why I'm here. And this is Carlos. He's my colleague. He's a real expert. He brings to the table 8 years of experience in the data science field, mostly in finance and consumer apps. Okay, let's dive into it. This is our agenda. We are covering these 4 topics using a use case. Okay, so yeah, this is our use case. So basically, what we are doing is collecting different sources, mostly financial data. We are embedding this data in a vector database. We have created different AI agents, such as an analyst and fund manager and quant trader, and they are equipped with knowledge that they are retrieving from this vector database, and they are also equipped with financial tools. And as a result, they generate the portfolio. So let's dive to the first part. Yeah, as I was telling you, from the data sources, we have been using Tingo Financial API, which was really good for closing prices and some fundamental metrics. But it wasn't really good, for example, for collecting news because they only provide you the URL or the headline. So in that case, what we did was scrapping news in real time and historical news. So regarding the database, you can explain.
Yeah, we started with the supability here. That is why general. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah, supabase feature, you can store there structured data and also vector data, right? Under the hood, it runs pgvector. So it's kind of okay. It's quite performant. When we saw the free tier with all the news and the price data and historical fundamental data, we wanted to try a specific native vector databases, right? So we were exploring V8 and Quadrant. For our use case, it wasn't like a big difference. We just go for the Quadrant one because for the hybrid search and for some multi-indexing, perform a bit better than V8, but they're super similar, right? Yeah, vector admin is a quite handy way to visualize all the vector databases and has integration with all the main ones. Okay, for orchestrate the pipeline, we just explore mates, but we end up with just Airflow and some GitHub action for collecting small ETLs. Was enough with GitHub action, right? Yeah, next one, I think. Okay, so how we embed the news and the financial data and how we retrieve that, okay? So I think that so many people in the Pycon are already talking about RAGs. Yesterday it was a workshop, right? So in our case, we went for we went just human face, top embedders, and we selected the Stella family of models, okay? And we fine-tuned them with financial data, okay? There is an already created data set for fine-tuned financial data, and we annotated extra examples, okay? Tuples for fine-tune the embedder, okay? It's super handy, the tool Argilia that was acquired recently for human face by human faces. It super provides a handy interface for annotate data and improve your models, okay, for fine tuning. Yeah, and we did this technique like matrix embeddings. You just I'm not going to be super deep on that, but yeah, you just modify the loss function of the embedding, and what it allows is create several embeddings of several lengths. Okay, so the smaller ones, the information is more condensed. So if you are low resources, you know, like you don't want to spend a lot in vector databases, you can have these smaller embeddings and you can perform searches based on them. Okay. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, you can. Okay, yeah. So at the beginning we just went for okay. I embed all the news, then perform constant similarity and that's all, right? Weavit, the other vector database, has a lot of integration with models. We have worked just in an abstract way. Okay, so we are performing all this computation, not relying in the database, but in our own logics. Okay, so yeah, and also the Gina Colder is a kind of new family or BERT for if you are familiar with BERT, it's just introducing a new techniques like that it provides better performance in retrieving information. Okay, like it's late interaction. Okay, so the query and the documents when you are performing this RAG, this information search. Yeah, I don't want to be. Yeah, it performs quite better than regular, more naive approach than like it's causing similarity. Okay. Yeah, and also we are trying it now, like some now that it's super friendly, the quantization 1-bit LLMs. There is a new like model 2 that synthesize distills any sentence transformer available in human faces and allows you to have a smaller version, more performant, more yeah. Okay. So that's like the left side of the data collection, embedding. Okay, we just prepared. Yeah, next one. Okay, so how about the AI framework, right? There are a lot of libraries that are trying to provide a higher level of abstractions to better manage your AI, right? SuperNown, CryoAI, LangChain. It's like everything in programming, right? It's a trade-off. If you just landed in AI agentic framework, probably, yeah, maybe next one. Probably you, oh, well, yeah. You want to use some LangChain that has a lot of integration for providing tools like web search or yeah, managing the memory, a lot of things that this LangChain library is doing for you. Okay, but it comes with a price. I are like locked with that model. So yeah, if they change the APIs, new versions. Recently they went from V1 to V2, major update. It was a mess. But this guy is still okay. And QBI is also super good. They have raised money, so they are going to spend a lot of money improving this one. So it's kind of okay. We like the most the adult flow. Okay, it's super lightweight. And we just build on top of it our own abstraction, right? So you can just call it like, okay, a brain or whatever inside your own abstraction that manages the memory, manages everything in the way you want to do it, and just use adult flow, for example, for managing the prompt templates or some React capabilities, like for some logics in the agent, you can easily manage that in Jinja templates, and you can abstract that with adult flow. But it's super lightweight. You don't have a lot of objects that you need to understand, interdependencies and all that stuff that, for example, LangChain has. And yeah, and for only racks, I will say that the most mature one is High-Spec. Has been working for, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5 years, and yeah, and it's super robust for that. Not if they are trying to build some agentic patterns and objects, but yeah, for now it's a work in progress. I don't know the hour. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is like the Jinja template. It's super super small, but yeah, you can have like a template of your prompt. Then you have some tags, and you can interpolate them afterwards in the Python code, right? For example, if you have example reports or your output, desired output, okay, you want to, as we were saying, the analyst has a super clear output that is a report. It's a Pydantic object that is going to be interpolated here in the prompt template, and then afterwards with their LLM response, we are going to parse it with this Pydantic object, right? Same for the fund manager that creates a directive, and also for the quant trader. Okay, we use Langsmith. Okay, you can use Langsmith without using the LangChain. Okay, that is super handy to log all the queries you are doing to the LLM, the time it takes, the cost, and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, and as I was saying, right, like the agent interfaces are super clear, are Pydantic objects. They are going to be enforced, okay? So, yeah, you have a report, a fund directive that is going to say in which markets, okay? You have a lot of analysts analyzing news. Their outputs are reports, are consumed by the fund manager, okay? It's a cyclic framework, okay, and pipeline. So those the agent and fund manager can talk, okay? They parse. If there is any doubt, it's again like back propagate the question to the analyst, so they can have like a kind of conversation, okay? It's, as I was saying, it's a custom framework, so we are quite flexible, but it's also super simple, okay? Not super fancy things happening there, okay? Bidirectional communication. Also for the quant trader. Just for the orchestration, creating a client with Click, super handy library if you don't know it, for creating client in Python, Terraform, and to deploy in Google Cloud Run, and yeah, also the vector database Dockerize, and also all this workflow, the agent, okay? So yeah, maybe you can go. Okay, so what's interesting, right? So we have the agent framework that some LLMs talking between them. You have some kind of knowledge base with all the racks and the vector databases, okay? So the other interesting thing about agents can be the tools, right? You can make agents and LLM more deterministic, but by enforcing their output, but also by providing by providing tools, right? So the output of the agent is just the input for some Python functions, okay? So yeah. So for example, in our case, we just use some fundamental and financial ratios, okay? So the LLM is going in specific, the quant trader is the one that is operating, is receiving from the fund manager that has distilled all the news and all the financial reports, and is going to is receiving some indication in which market they need to perform orders, okay, and to select the stocks that he's going to operate. He's going to use these financial ratios, okay. Here, super basic stuff, okay, so basic ratios, value of risk. Here we have used the Fam and Friends 5-factor of 3-factor modeling, okay, so takes into account 5 factors that overall in the history and across all markets has shown as important ones, okay. And this is, yeah, for financial optimization, it's a very broad and specific field. So the interesting thing here is, okay, you have an LLM that has deterministic outputs by enforcing with Pydantic models and by using tools, okay, but in the financial part or in that sense, it's cool stuff, okay, they can operate and whatever and whatnot, but they are not going to improve any I don't know, like a specific financial pipeline, cross validation, XGBoost, some risk modeling. Okay, so we are not providing anything more in that sense. Okay, so what we just started to explore is integrating this LLM narratives. Okay, so we can enhance, or what we wanted to try is enhance scenario simulations and confidence intervals that usually in the final field are compute based in historical, for example, deviation, volatilities, and whatnot in the historical data. What we tried is to enhance those scenario simulations with LLM narratives. Okay, so we make the LLM to generate imagine a future. Okay, so some narratives in text. We map those tests in the 5 factors that Infama Friends modeling is taking into account. Okay, just for the sake of simplifying it. Okay, and then we just do some portfolio optimization. Here is super. This is like the typical like efficient frontier. Okay, it's super safe because we have performed a stock filtering previously. Okay, if not, it should be like well rounded, but yeah, it's kind of there. So for the minimum risk, you need to have, or you would like to have the maximum returns. Okay, so it's you will also work in the frontier. So with that technique, what we try to do is to just don't overfit the past. Okay, you can have a lot of cross validation in the past, a well-known techniques for that, but you can also kind of imagine some possible futures, and by mapping to well-known factors and integrating this scenario simulation in your well-known cross validation process or financial model training, you can better estimate the confidence intervals and better extrapolate to not out of the distribution data that you have not seen. Okay, so yeah. Oops. Yeah, it's time, right? Okay. So yeah, it's a kind of complex thing. It's also very experimental. Okay, so we will continue working on that. That's why we don't present any performance metric or whatever, because it's still a work in process. So yeah. Any doubts or whatever, please keep in touch. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Hola, Carlos.
Bueno.
I would like to know, I think from your explanation,
Yeah.
I guess your tools or the software that you develop is more for like long-term
Yeah, totally,
analysis, right?
totally.
Can you like plug in like real-time news, or can you like put a short-term data into this, or like, for example, there's like live situation happening.
Mm-hmm.
Can you like extrapolate from the model that you have, and you can make decision based on like the real-time data?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I tried to synthesize in 15 minutes, but yeah, this is like kind of long-term analysis and portfolio management. What you say, the real-time things or news are going are evaluated, and it's modifying the future like scenarios. Okay, so if it's a breaking news that has a lot of impact in any of the scenarios, it will change, and then it will be updated that scenario specific or the scenarios that may be affected by this real-time news. So yeah, it's not like a high frequency trading or anything. It's more like in the part of a scenario simulation, when you are not super sure when you have the past variance like deviation, and you, okay, 25% of the confidence interval, 5%, but you don't, you are, you see the literature in financial sector, they always talk about the concept of overfitting the past, right? Any event of the past could be like random thing, and another past thing branch could happen, right? So the idea here is like figuring out those alternative universes, for example, so we can learn for them and use them for better estimate our confidence intervals. That's the idea, right? So yeah.
Thank you again, Carlos and Anna, for engaging presentation and for addressing our question. Let's give them a round of applause. This wrap up session 3. We hope you found it thought-provoking, and we encourage you to continue exploring the application of Python and AI in finance. Thank you everyone for participating, and enjoy the rest of the day. Python APAC. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Introduction.
You like it? Thank you.
Lead community Tangerang Pai.
What?
Lead community group Tangerang Pai. This is Guru Telegram.
Okay.